Thinking of leaving your 9 to 5 to build your own business or freelance? Here are 3 things you should know. A LinkedIn study in 2023 indicated that almost 70% of Gen Z and millennial Americans stated they planned to leave their jobs and go for freelancing or entrepreneurship. If you're watching this, chances are you are thinking about it too. Here are 3 things you should consider. Before we go any further, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Peggy, and I am a certified coach and yoga teacher with a background in finance and accounting. I left my corporate job in commercial real estate lending 5 years ago to create a career I would truly love and to pursue the best version of myself. This doesn't mean life is now perfect, but it's fulfilling. I wear different hats in my career now compared to before, as I see so much value in diversifying my paths. This is my very first YouTube video, and I'm excited and nervous at the same time. As a coach who helps clients in the life and career space, I constantly encourage them to venture out of their comfort zone, to embrace change and go after what they want in life. That's why I want to challenge myself this year to do something new. At the same time, I want to use this space to share personal learning, experience, and borrowed wisdom from those who inspire me to help as many people as possible. If you like my content, please hit like and subscribe. Now, let's get back to the 3 things to consider before leaving your corporate job for freelancing or entrepreneurship. Number 1, understand your why. What's the reason behind you wanting to leave your corporate career? Are you stressed, burned out, unfulfilled, seeking new challenges? It's important to know what you want moving forward. If the primary reason is to get out of a stressful environment, ask yourself, what's truly causing chaos? Is it external, like your boss, your job, your colleagues, the organization? Or is it internal, your desire for perfection, validation, and people's approval? If your reason for leaving is mostly due to internal dissatisfaction because things are not perfect or you blame yourself for not being perfect, these feelings need to be addressed. Otherwise, you'll take the same emotions with you to your next endeavor. I know a lot of us thrive on external validation. Remember, you only have control over your own actions and perceptions. Relying on other people's praises to prove your values is not sustainable. Learn to look at external validation as merely a bonus for how you choose to show up. It has nothing to do with your worth. The reality is, working for yourself is not going to be less stressful. You may feel that you have more freedom, but at the same time, you are giving up the stability you have been so used to. Weigh your pros and cons. Instead of labeling your choices good and bad, right or wrong, prioritize what you need and trust there is a valuable lesson in every direction and every decision you make. And resilience and growth happen when you get out of your comfort zone. Number 2, examine your financial condition. If your goal is to be self-employed or start a new business, it's time to take a closer look at your finances. Even if you want some time off without taking on another role, you want to feel financially secure. In other words, leaving a steady income requires careful planning. How I would approach this is, first, to ensure you have sufficient savings to cover living expenses, healthcare, and other needs until you secure an income source. I call this a runway to take off. Ideally, you want to set aside 6 months of living expenses. Some people might argue that you need to have more before you start anything else. Second, if you need additional time before officially starting your business and you dread relying solely on savings, consider staying at your current job longer or finding another income stream. If your goal is to freelance, land your first few clients, before you quit. Third, become more mindful of your spending habits. This applies to everyone, not just those who want to leave their corporate job for entrepreneurship. Ask yourself these questions before you make a purchase. Is this really necessary? If the answer is no, then how does having this thing improve my life or my business? Can I afford this without going into debt? If the answer is yes, then am I paying a reasonable price for this? If your answer is no, which means you're going to have to take on debt to buy this thing, then think about, could I borrow, rent, or find an alternative? Are these possible? The intent here is to train you to think more strategically about how you use your money. If your tendency is to be frugal, then focus more on the question of how is having this thing improve your life and business? If it clearly has value to you, please don't deprive yourself. Number 3, have an actionable plan in place. If your vision is to establish a small business, I highly recommend you start by writing a business plan to get clear on your mission, target market, marketing strategies, operational plans, and financial projections. A well-crafted plan keeps you on track. If you want to freelance first and get a taste of solopreneurship, having clarity on the type of work you want to do and who you want to serve is the first step. I have a free checklist to help you create a plan for your new journey. Find the link below. Whether you want to create a business or start your self-employment by taking on contracting work first, choosing a business structure and registering your business is essential as that minimizes your liability. Depending on your location and the industry, you may also need specific licenses and permits. Small Business Administration's website contains some useful info, so check out the 10 steps to start a business linked below. I also find talking to a certified public accountant helpful when it comes to learning about different business structures and tax implications. One last thing I want to mention is building your support network. I suggest you work with a coach if you need help gaining clarity and confidence and keeping yourself accountable. Seek guidance from experienced entrepreneurs or professionals in your chosen field for advice, and mentorship is also a great idea. Another thing you can do is to engage with other entrepreneurs to learn from each other and find potential collaborators. The point here is don't work in solitude. Isolation can cause demotivation and procrastination. To conclude, knowing your why, examining your financial condition, and having an actionable plan are the 3 key things that you want to consider before quitting your corporate job to work for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments area. If you like my content, please hit like and subscribe. Until next time.